All right, good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us for the second in our series of Schoology for Families webinars. This evening's session and all of our webinars are going to be recorded, and they will be added to the Schoology for Families webinar series playlist that is on my YouTube channel. My name is Mike Hladio. My current title is K-12 Technology Coordinator. An easier way to think of my position is to consider me the district technology coach. Before moving into this role in the fall of 2020, I taught 8th grade language arts at Jefferson Middle School for 19 years. So while I am focused on instructional technology and supporting teachers, students, our community, and our staff, I am first and foremost a teacher. Joining me today, is one of our building technology coaches. Carolyn Isidore is a classroom teacher. She supports her colleagues at Markham Elementary School. You may not see or hear from her this evening, but she is going to be facilitating the Q&A forum. For those of you who are joining us live, if you have a question pertaining to this evening's focus, you can post that question using the Q&A tool. Our coach will either answer directly in the Q&A, but more likely, she will flag your question as one that we should answer live. We should have enough time at the end of our webinar to field any related questions. Before moving into this evening's content, I want to make sure that families are aware of some of the support tools and procedures that will be available throughout the school year. If while engaging with Schoology, you have questions about your students' academic progress, please be sure to contact that classroom teacher. If you need to update your account information, for example, if you'd like to update your email address, please reach out to your school building secretary who manages that information. If you require assistance that is specific to Schoology, the district has posted some helpful resources through mtlsd.org. If Schoology is not functioning as intended and you are seeking more specific help, the email address schoologysupport@mtlsd.net will send a message to a qualified group of support staff, myself included, who can point you in the right direction. Finally, if you are ever in need of specific assistance with Schoology navigation, or if you have any questions about the platform in general, you can always contact me at mhladio@mtlsd.net. So many of these resources, as well as Schoology's own support documentation, can be accessed through the support link at the bottom of your Schoology page. I'd also like to remind families about our Family Guide to Schoology course. This is a self-paced course that walks families through Schoology navigation, tools, and district usage expectations. To get started with this course, please reach out to me or to your building secretary for access. All right, now let's move on to tonight's primary content, viewing Schoology courses. One note before we begin. Tonight's examples and presentation assume that Schoology is being accessed through a desktop or laptop computer. If you have specific questions about tonight's content related to mobile app navigation, you are welcome to post them in the Q&A portal. In addition, the webinar we have scheduled for January 9th will focus specifically on utilizing the mobile app. With that in mind, let's get started. So, how can a family member access student courses in Schoology? Accessing the activity related to your students is a few clicks away. By clicking on your name or the name presently displayed in the top right-hand corner of Schoology, you should see a pull-down menu with the names of your students. Click on the name of one of those students for view-only access to their Schoology environment. For easier access in the future, you have the ability to set a default landing page in your account settings. You can choose to either view your own Schoology account or to view the activity for your students each time you initially sign into Schoology. From here, perhaps the easiest way to view a specific course is to click Courses in the top left corner. Schoology will display up to 12 of that student's current courses. Students have the ability to customize that list to prioritize the courses that must be accessed quickly and to organize them in the order that is most helpful. To navigate directly to a specific course, click the course card and you will have view-only access to that course. As you move throughout various parts of the Schoology interface, you will find activities such as updates, calendar items, graded work, and more. Wherever that activity is posted, you may also find the related course title displayed as a hyperlink. Whether from the updates page, calendar, or another location, most links to a course title can take you directly to the Schoology page for that course. Now, once you find your way to a specific Schoology course, family members can view several important areas for a more specific window into the class. On the right side of the course screen, the upcoming area displays an agenda of assignments and calendar events that are coming soon. Assignments are displayed on their due date, and calendar events are organized by their starting date. By clicking on an item in the upcoming area, family members and students can be taken directly to the details for that item. On the left side of the course screen, this menu can take you to several important information areas within that course. The main access point for students and families is the materials page. Regardless of the school building, level, or course, all Mount Lebanon School District courses within Schoology will be organized using the 3 top-level folders: current work, past work, and class information. With that being said, please remember that this is a new initiative for our school district. Teachers are continuing to learn how to use Schoology. If you have any questions, concerns, or feedback, please reach out to the classroom teacher, the building principal, or to me. Your patience and thoughtful feedback is appreciated. Within each of these top-level folders, teachers will be able to further organize their materials into appropriate subfolders that work best for that course, level, and content. Information and posts about the academic work that is currently in progress should be found within the current work folder. Work that has already been completed by the class can be found under past work. Other important information and resources for students and families will be found in the class information folder. Families and students can open or expand each folder to access individual items organized within each folder. By clicking on an item, family members and students can be taken directly to the details for that item. Teachers have the ability to post important announcements and information for the class in the Updates section. Clicking here will give families and students the opportunity to see all of those updates listed in chronological order. For our secondary students, clicking on the Grades tab will bring students and families to a detailed grade report where, depending on course settings, individual grades, teacher comments, and gradebook status may be visible. From here, clicking on an item title will take families and students directly to a detailed view of that item. Now, many families would like to be able to see a list of all of that student's courses in one place. Once you are viewing Schoology as one of your students, you will see two home screen choices. The student activity area in the center of the page displays a running list of your students' recent submissions, grades, and communication. Here, you will also see a feed of updates posted by that student's teachers, the building administration, and the leaders of any clubs, teams, or groups of which the student is a member. This can be a useful way to see communication, interaction, and activity from all courses, groups, and schools, all in one place. By switching to the enrollments view, families can view that list of courses in which your student is currently enrolled. When viewing as a secondary student, this is where you will see an overall grade displayed next to the course title. If you are used to checking grades in Dashboard and seeing a course list along with a current grade, this is the screen that most closely resembles that experience. However, in previous school years, that course list is where family access typically ended. But in moving to Schoology, the district is providing additional access to offer all families an even greater window into the classroom. Clicking an individual course, you will be taken directly to that course page. Instead of being limited to only seeing a final score and a list of assignments, family members can now have access to more classroom materials and have the ability to have a greater understanding of the context for their students' progress. Now, at several points this evening, we've made reference to clicking on titles and links to view individual item or assignment details. So, what additional details might you find? Teachers can post calendar items for classroom events like field trips and guest speakers. Pages can be shared to provide students with helpful information and resources. Students can interact through discussions. There are also a variety of assignment integrations such as Edpuzzle, Quizlet, and Google Drive that might be used as well. All of those options create additional variations on what you might see when clicking on an item for its detail. For this example, let's look at the details that can be available in a standard standard Schoology assignment. The main display section shows us the assignment title and due date. Teachers can post specific directions and links to resources within the assignment description. If the teacher would like family members to view linked documents, sharing permissions need to be set up in order to do so. Teachers may also include images and media associated with that assignment. If the teacher has enabled class comments, your students' contributions to that discussion may be visible as well. On the right side of the assignment screen, details related to any digital submission and grading feedback can be found. By floating your mouse over the submission screen, you will see time-stamped data about that submission. Click the assignment submission to see the student work. In addition to a detailed view of status about that submission, family members can also view grades, gradebook comments, and comment dialogue between the teacher and the student. While this detailed information may not be available in all assignment types, it is part of the standard Schoology assignment whenever students are able to submit their work digitally. While Schoology does offer a rather robust digital window into the classroom, there are some limitations to what family members can see and do. When viewing Schoology as one of your students, you have view-only access. This means that family members are able to see a variety of resources and classroom activity, but interaction with that content is not available. If there is something that the student themselves should do, the student themselves will need to sign into their own Schoology account to do so. In the members section, family members will only be able to see the teachers who are active in that course. All other students who are a part of that course will not be visible. If there is any discussion, or if there are class comments posted to an assignment, family members will only be able to see the activity associated with the teachers and their own students. All other student activity will be marked as anonymous, and that content will not be visible. When teachers share links to Google-related content, or if they embed that content directly into Schoology, family members may see an access message like this one. There may be situations where teachers need to restrict the visibility of their resources. If you believe that you are being denied access to a file by mistake, please reach out to that classroom teacher who may just need to adjust those permissions. So that is the conclusion of the information that I wanted to make sure we covered this evening with everyone. Much of this information and more is accessible through our Family Guide to Schoology course. To get started with that course, please reach out to me or to your building secretary for access. Please remember that support resources can be accessed through the support link at the bottom of your Schoology page. And remember that if you require assistance specific to Schoology, the district has posted some helpful resources and contact information through mtlsd.org. So with that in mind, let's take a look at our Q&A forum and see if we have any questions that we can respond to before our time is up. Okay, so the question is, where can I see teachers' comments at quarter or semester end? So I presume that this is in reference to viewing teachers' comments about a student's overall performance in a particular class. We often post these as part of our grading process. So I'm looking here in this view. I'm looking at I'm using a test guardian or family member account. If I go to one of my students' grade reports, so from here, I'm now looking at as a learner and viewing as learner X display. That's our family name. If I click grade report, I'm able to see each of my students' classes, and if I click on any one of those classes, it's going to expand and display. And this is again assuming we're a secondary student working with traditional grading as opposed to standards-based grading in our elementary schools. There's a breakdown according to each class and grading category, and then with each of those assignments, if you look on the right-hand side, there is an opportunity for teachers to post gradebook feedback about that particular assignment. But here we have a record of the feedback that teachers have given on a regular basis or on an assignment to assignment basis. When it comes to grade reports at the end of a quarter or the end of a semester, teachers have the option of posting those comments here, but those overall quarter or semester end comments, typically we will see those posted in the gradebook of record, that being Power Teacher Pro or Dashboard PowerSchool. So when the feedback data is taken from Schoology and pushed over to Power Teacher Pro, to PowerSchool, to Dashboard, excuse me, lots of terms we use for that platform. That's where we would typically find end of quarter or end of semester feedback about how a student performed. Schoology, however, provides us with an opportunity to, as you can see here, again, one sample, to provide feedback on an ongoing basis, to provide feedback to students in a more proactive fashion, and as a family member to be able to see that feedback in each individual course as it's happening, essentially as it's happening live. So those quarterly comments or semester comments, I'd say that generally speaking, those are going to be found inside of the PowerSchool platform. But if you're looking for feedback about how my student is doing now, or how that student is progressing in real time, Schoology is where a lot of that feedback can be found. And again, not only in your grade report, but in those individual courses, as we demonstrated as well. If there are no other questions, that's our content for this evening. Please remember, we will be off next week. Students and families will be off next week. I hope you and your families have a wonderful holiday break. We will be back not only in session at school, but we will have another 4 o'clock webinar on January 2nd. That is going to focus on communication and notifications, automated communication that Schoology can provide and the teachers can provide to families through the platform. So we'll be back on January 2nd for that. I hope you can join us. We will also have another a fourth and final webinar in this series on January 9th, and that will focus on utilizing the mobile app. So I hope you can join us for those. The recording of this session, after a little bit of editing and data management, will be made available on YouTube. If you have questions about how to access that, please reach out at any time, and I'll be happy to help. Thank you, everyone, for joining us, and hope you have a wonderful holiday, and hope to see you on January 2nd.